Is my light too bright, bro?
I don't know, but that was live.
Oh shit.
I think it might
Oh,
be the light. Maybe try lowering it down a little bit. I feel like I look red as fuck on my light. Here, let me see. Nope.
yeah.
Now I look orange.
Uh,
Now I look pale.
Okay,
And
so I just lowered down my light right
oh,
now.
okay.
Does it look better?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it looks good.
Okay.
What's up,
Okay,
everybody?
fuck it.
Welcome to another episode of Monday Night Live. I haven't made an intro for this yet, but I do have some lower thirds for us. Hey, my name is Chris, and I'm joined by Angel Houseman, the other
Yes,
half of
sir.
us. Um, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about how we've planned shows in the past, or for me, how I've planned shows in the past for clients. Angel's going to get into a little bit of how he plans Oy No Mas podcast, the importance of planning a show. I honestly like, what is it, like proper pre-production prevents piss poor performance. Angel, I think you can chime in, like it's important, like you can't, like, should we even almost do this today, because I had fucking improper planning. I created a recurring event, forgot to share it with you. I created a link
R-
for it, forgot to
Yeah.
share it with you.
Right,
um
right, right. But the thing is like I think more than anything, like you said plenty of times, is just getting the reps in,
yeah,
right? Just getting the practice in, just getting comfortable being in front of the camera, and at the end of the day, over time, you're going to start perfecting everything,
yeah.
but you're going to be learning so many different skill sets along the way.
hmm yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree, getting the reps in is definitely important. I think something that I've learned in the past with clients and shows that they've put together, which is just like, a lot of times, like, yes, like, it's all about the format of your show, what your overall goal is. But sometimes, like, if your show is around a certain specific idea, it can make it easy for you to kind of plan it and get episodes out. And what I mean by that is, like, let's say you have a news show where you're just reacting to news. The news itself kind of plans the show for you. You get me? Like, Trump gets
Right,
Trump almost gets assassinated. Cool. You're going to talk about that. You get me?
right.
Like, those things kind of drive your show forward. Let's say you're talking about just football. All right. The football season itself, you get me? Plan, like, those headlines plan your show for you. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, like, you do that a little bit with Oino Mas. I mean, I know you have your guests that come in with their own storyline and, like, the thing, but, like, I know for your solo episodes, they're mainly around, like, current events or things that you're covering that you want to talk about, right?
I was gonna say that, bro. So before, the way that I wanted to do Oinoma's
I'm
podcast and the
recording.
way that I was
I'm recording.
previously doing the podcast, it was based mostly on guest, right? Having guest over, and it was more of an interview. Obviously, it was more of a organic conversation between both parties, but it was
Yeah.
mostly guest driven. However, I've kind of pivoted a little bit more of having in-house guests like Chilo, my fiance, and a couple friends here and there.
Yeah.
But you're right, and as you were mentioning that, I was going to say that reacting to videos, or let's say if there's a news article or anything trending, it's almost like a cheat code. Why? Because that topic it's already trending. Now
Exactly.
you reacting to it and providing your own perspective and your own ideas and the way you interpret things, more than likely you're already going to have a viral post.
hmm
So, and that's something I highly recommend to anybody, that if you're a real estate agent, if you're in any type of business, if there's something related to your niche, to your business, react to something trending to what you're currently doing, and you already have a potential real TikTok to go viral.
Exactly. Do you have any advice of, like, how? Because, like, yes, you could do that, but, like, at some point, it needs to be, like, written down, or, like, it needs to be documented at some point. I mean, there's so many things people can use that they have accessible to them, like just their notes on their phone. If you have a co-host, you get me. Like, it's good to, like, choose, like, a general service that you guys both have access to, preferably for free or paid, if you're balling like that. What do you use right now currently to, like,
So,
plan
so
things in Onomas?
okay, so the way that I used to do it before, I used to pretty much do everything just like organic. There was times that in the actual podcast itself, I was searching for these videos,
Yeah.
and it would take me a couple minutes, and then at times I would have to edit those couple minutes out.
Yeah.
But now I got a little bit more strategic. What I do is I have my Google Drive notes, and I just, since everything is synced to
I
my
didn't know Google
computer
Drive
and
had
all.
notes. You mean like a shared document or like just notes?
I mean, Google Docs,
Okay. Okay.
Google Docs.
Got you.
So what I do is since I have the accessibility on my phone. Whatever I save on that Google Doc, I have it on my email, on my actual laptop, and on my tablet. Everything is synced.
Yeah.
So now I get more strategic, and what I do at times is I'll have AI or ChatGPT tell me, like, write me a brief couple sentences about this topic, and then I'll have the link right below it. So now I know, let's say if I'm going to get into like any news story, I'll give the headline of the news story, and then I'll have the link so I can click on it now, and I have everything organized now.
Okay.
So it's being more strategic, not having to look for this actual video and having my document sheet ready to go.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, could you screen share at any point or like show me anything like in terms of thing if you want to?
Yeah, of course. And now
uh
it's not even a secret.
Yeah, okay, cool,
Yeah,
cool, cool.
yeah. Yeah.
For me, like so yeah, I've worked with clients in the past where like I have done shows based on like current events. And I'll run through just one of them where like I'll show you like the screenshots from the show. It was a show called Boisterous Boys, and essentially it was a MMA podcast. And essentially what we did was we just spoke about like the current fights that would happen that week. So yeah, I would have like a side by side similar to what me and Angel are doing right now. Um, we would, engage fans, and like they got to the point where they were doing super chats. So in this case, what we did was we showcased all comments on this scene where it was just like, hey, tell us how you guys are doing, or like giving the guests like a yes or no, giving your audience like a yes or no question so you can just like get the lay of the land in terms of that. And then you would have like the super chats, which is just a, hey, someone dropped a super chat, they would give us money and things like that, and we would break the conversation like that. But the cool thing was like, again, being able to screen share, and like UFC, like they have events every other weekend. So like that was our talking points. You get me? Whether it was like hyping up the upcoming fight or talking about the fight that just happened the weekend prior. And when we first started out, like oh man, I would spend so much time in pre-production. I would be getting like screenshots from like the fights. I would have them like slow mo pan from left to right, like someone throwing a jab and then someone throwing a knee, like for every single main card fight. This was like us doing like filters and things like that, which I need to find out a way to do that now that Snapchat doesn't have us. Like Snapchat used to be available for the computer, and they would have an app where you can like just apply filters over their
That's
face.
crazy. I didn't know that.
um
Dude, I didn't know that was accessible through the computer.
Dog, it is, and it's I need to. There's a different way to do it now. I just gotta figure it out. I gotta finesse it.
Yeah,
But yeah, we would also like I would take screenshots from like the fight card. It doesn't mean just taking a screenshot from the UFC homepage, and we would do like live betting. So where I would have like overlays on screen, and I would just like drag the chips to like where who was betting for who, whether they were putting money on a fight, things like that. So yeah, that was just like a brief uh example there. Could you share? My bad. If you share your screen, I'll swap it in.
let me see. Let me know if you can see my
Yes,
screen.
I do
You
see
can
your
see it?
screen. Yeah, I'm gonna try to go through here, um, and then I am going to where we at here. Da, 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 da. I need to change this to being a camera. That's what I need to do. So I gotta add a camera. We're building it as we're flying. And then this is gonna be camera E is gonna be A. There we go.
There we
And
go.
then I will just drop that to the back. Boom.
Beautiful. So right here, I'm actually on my Google Docs. There's no secrets here,
Yeah.
at least not that I can think of. But
I see the
long
document.
story,
I hate Chris. Where is it? I hate Chris. Down the very bottom right in the phone
So,
message.
like I've always said, man, and I think I'm always gonna praise you because of Chris, because of this man. I've been able to go live now. I'm able to do this, which what I'm currently doing now, going live with Chris, is being able to share my screen. But essentially, this is what I do. I think you were part of one of the lives, and this is what I do. This one was, I think it was live, my live number two, and
Hmm.
technically, for instance, here I was reacting to the Barney and Friends actor,
Yeah.
something as silly as this, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know who this actor was behind the Barney character. Literally, I would just have the title of the topic I was going to be talking about, the TikTok link, who is Barney, and whatever. And then I would have like pretty much an essential, like a brief summary or some sort of bullet points and the link right below it.
Yeah.
And this is another thing that I mentioned, that I would have like AI give me, or just going straight to Google and getting some random facts that I can talk about. For instance, here,
Yeah.
what does 222 mean? In numerology, the angel numbers 222 is said to represent balance, harmony, and spiritual alignment. It can also be assigned to trust yourself, be creative, and focus on your relationships. So I like to pull out a couple random fun facts, having my description and my links ready to go.
Yeah.
And yeah, as you can see, this is exactly how I
That's what I
set up
meant. Like,
my
it
my
doesn't have to
lives.
be fancy. It doesn't have to have like a format. In this case, this is just you literally like, these are the topics I'm going through. I have my
Right.
links so that you're not losing that time, like clicking things out and like trying to fuss around and like find something. You get me?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, essentially, you, even though you have your bullet points and even though you have your links, luckily I've been blessed, and you've been on the lives too, Chris, which I highly appreciate. But as you can see, there's been other people that actually join in the lives, and then they'll drop a comment, and then it triggers other points of conversations that it leads to more and more topics. I think the
Hmm.
last time that we did
Oh yeah, I sent you
a
mad
live,
links.
yeah. Yeah, we were talking about AI, and you were mentioning, as you were mentioning a couple things about past robots or whatnot, I was able to go on Google, and it just creates another form of conversation aside from what you already have documented on your Google Docs.
Hmm.
But essentially, this is my basis of my talking points,
Hmm.
and then the conversation and the lives will create additional top points of conversation that you weren't even thinking of.
Yeah. Can I
But
ask, do
yeah,
you do something similar like this for the podcast, or you just let them flow? I think you were saying you let them flow.
yeah. So now, if you, I try to be a little bit, if I try to be a little bit more strategic. If the podcast itself is not of one specific subject, let's say for instance ayahuasca,
Yeah.
uh, if it's an ayahuasca or a specific topic podcast, and then I just let it ride and let the conversation just be strictly based on that. But when it is random topics, then I try to choose 3 to 4 talking points and reactions of videos.
Hmm.
Why? Because, like I think we said it in the past, you're able to talk about multiple topics, and then essentially you can clip those out. And now you have 8, 10 minute videos that you can clip out, create a thumbnail, and post as individual videos to YouTube. And now you have, aside from having your long form content,
Hmm.
now you have short form clips that they're going on YouTube with individual thumbnails.
Yeah. Now, can I ask you a question? Like, do you have any advice for someone who, you get me there, similar to yourselves? Like, and I don't know, like, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, when I say, like, Oinomas is an entertainment podcast, and
Right.
it's not necessarily tied to like one specific like genre of topics that you cover. Like, I think, I mean, if you ask me, I would say like, because of your general enthusiasm about ayahuasca and because your past guests like that, you know, plant medicine and that, you know, conspiracy theories are like your bag. But like, do you have any advice for someone who has a podcast that is an entertainment podcast and they don't really know what their thing is? You get me? Like, they're not following sports, they're not following tech, they're not following things like, is there any sort of advice that you can give someone in terms of like maybe finding that pattern, or like how to even begin that, or like what would be your best advice there?
My best advice is just getting one of your friends that you already
That's good.
vibe with.
That's
Why? Because you guys already have a genuine conversation going. And at times, how many times have you had real organic conversations that you wish you would have documented? All right. And even something as like through those conversations, when you get advice through a friend or family member, that same advice that helped you could help out multiple people when you clip out those short form contents or podcasts just by somebody watching that. You can change somebody's life
yeah.
by a simple conversation.
Yep. And then that's where you also like I would add on to that, when you have those conversations, when you bring on a friend, it allows you to get outside of yourself, get outside of your head in terms of how you're being perceived, and then you just have that natural conversation of whether it's talking about Real Housewives, you get me, and like you just
Right.
wind up going, on a tangent, you and your friend talking about reality TV shows, and then next thing you know, that is your genre, that is your topic. You get me?
Right,
Your
right.
show should
And
be more about that. You get me? What are the
e-
reality TV? React to
exactly.
them. This something, yeah, stuff like that.
Right, right. And eventually because of those conversations, you're gonna start realizing that there's other types of topics that you guys like talking, and eventually you guys are gonna end up figuring things out, similar to what we're doing right now,
Mm,
right? That okay, we have our talking points, but essentially we're trying to figure out which route we want to take this eventually, even though this is an organic conversation, which we're having right now. But at the same time, you're giving your point of view on the way you set up your shows, which the way you do them, they're freaking amazing and freaking like professional. Me,
mm.
I'm a little more rough,
Nah,
but it still
your
works.
shit's still clean. Don't undersell me stuff like that. He's over here
Right.
talking shit, but he's behind an oino ma sign. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
your shit is clean.
But yeah, but one thing, bro, something I've always pointed out, the things you deliver for your clients is top notch.
Thank you.
I
Thank
still want to see that same top notch of content for yourself.
you. Yeah, nah, that's something I need to get there and work on. I just realized I like when I got a paycheck in front of me, like it motivates me a lot fucking more than
Yeah,
doing it for myself. And I'm never gonna get that paycheck for myself until I fucking put in that same fucking work. So this is the journey
right.
we're actively on right now, my guy, which is just like, I did the lower thirds today. Tomorrow it'll be the
Yay.
intro. The next day
Yeah.
it'll be something else.
But bro, and this is essential freaking motivation. Look at Chris. Yeah, even though he's done like all this top-notch quality for clients, Chris right now is in the garage, but he's still putting in the work.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's not all that fancy lights in the back. Cool, that looks cool and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's the conversation you're providing, the value you're providing to the people watching the content out there.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you're not having a good conversation or talking points that people can relate to, all that fancy stuff can goes out the window.
Yep. Nah, I agree with
And
you.
the value that you provide to people is insane.
Thank you, man. Thank you. So, talking about how we plan a show, how are we going to plan this show? We got 20 minutes. I want to be, gracious to your time. What is a good space for like something that you and I both have access to? I was telling you that for me, like what I started to do with the How to Copy and Steal channel, my bad. I'm sharing your
Yeah,
screen, but
yeah, let me
oh
remove
no,
my
that's
screen
not what I want
share.
to do. No, it's all good. I had it. I had the window
Okay.
overlaid on top of this window. I just used this same scene for it. So I have
Yeah.
my Notion here. So I've used Notion in the past. I don't know if there's a way. Maybe I can actually open the app so it doesn't even look that crazy. Um, but so this is what I was doing for the Alive YouTube channel, or when
Yeah.
it was just Alive and Copy and Steal and all in one. I need to redo it now that they're separate channels. What's up?
Chris, real quick,
Yeah.
do you mind? I'm gonna step away because Teddy needs to drink
Oh
some
yeah, yeah.
water.
Do your thing. Do your
I'll
thing.
join right away.
Do your
Yeah.
thing. All good. So yeah, this is what I was doing for my YouTube channel before. Well, not YouTube channel before, but this is what I was doing when my YouTube channels were combined. I just had this long going Notion doc where I just created a table. you could do this on anything. It could be Notion, it could be Google Sheets, it could be, I mean, whatever, Excel. But essentially, I just had this table broken down in terms of like, what is the idea that I have for the video? So that's this right here. I had a spot for me to add a thumbnail image, which I would create in Canva. I had a spot for me to, add a thumbnail text. Maybe I could reorder this because thumbnail text makes more sense to have there. I had a spot for me to like take this idea and essentially, add a YouTube title. So this was going to be for a series that I was going to do with my mom, where I was just like, look, conversation with my mom, the goal of the series, where we were going to go over the goal for the series that we were going to do for a New Yorican story. And we were going to talk about a little bit about my great grandma's story. But yeah, I had something here for thumbnail text, something here for a thumbnail image, something here for YouTube title, a video description, and then I would generally be getting all this from ChatGPT, a playlist, which is just like that. This makes sense for when I had my previous YouTube channel, which everything was just going to be all in one channel. But now this doesn't make sense if I'm separating it out. My record date, and then a LinkedIn post. This was going to be more so
Wow.
for a thing. Um, but yeah, I had just all these general ideas. So like it starts out with an idea, and then like we would get into like thumbnail text options. But yeah, I was basically just showing this as like, I don't know, maybe we can do something similar to this where we just have like an ongoing list of just ideas of things that we could go live and talk about. You get me? Whether
What
we could.
what website is this?
So this is Notion. And I was what I was saying before when you had stepped away was like, this is just a table. You get me? But this
Hmm.
could be done on Google Sheets. This could be done on a Google Doc. And I think
Like
honestly,
Excel.
it'd be yeah, Excel, anything. You get me? It could be done on, you name them. I'll list them all just because we need sponsors. Asana,
Yeah.
ClickUp,
Yeah.
Monday.com. I'm looking at all y'all.
Yeah.
But
Anybody.
anybody. But yeah, it's just a table where I would gather the ideas. I think it's more like so about like breaking down how you actually, what I mean, use it and utilize it. But yeah, I just had all these ideas and I had like these different playlists of like where these things would live. I mean, why I left New York, just things like that. Um, so yeah, where would be the best place for us to do this? What do you think?
I mean that looks amazing as it is.
Yeah.
It looks
I mean, I
way
can make a
more.
duplicate of this. And Notion is free. I'm not paying for Notion at all right
Hmm.
now. Have you used
Okay.
Notion before?
No, I haven't. Yeah, I try to be honest. I try to have everything through Google, just because I think everything just syncs so
I,
seamlessly.
I agree.
Like,
I agree. I'm down to do a Google Sheet or like a Google Doc and see if I can create a table in that Google Doc. So let's do it through
yeah,
Google first.
okay,
Yeah, because then I feel like even if I try to invite you to Notion, it's gonna like make me start to want to pay for, like, it's gonna be like, oh, in order to invite Angel, you need to pay for this type of deal.
yeah, yeah. Bro,
So
we already have enough freaking subscriptions
yeah,
out there.
yeah. Um, so first I'm gonna try Google Sheets. Ooh,
The
Google.
goal with this tool also is like I want to be clipping out some of these whatever talking points we have or anything. I want to be clipping these out.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's a goal. That's why I want to be a little bit more prepared. That way I know, like, even I'll probably write notes eventually. Like, oh, like I want to clip this out.
yeah.
Because at the end of the day, there's more freaking content out there.
I'm just gonna say Monday Night Live.
Yeah,
All right. So, how I broke the other one down was just like general like video idea. So like, what is like the
yeah.
idea, and then that
Right.
allows me to like free form just explain what the idea is, and then I have a space here for like YouTube title, description, where I can ask ChatGPT those things. Title. Oh, here I can invite you to this too. Share. Boom. Hey, what happened to this logo? Where'd that logo come from? That AH.
I don't know. I just made it up a
Okay.
long time ago. I need to change it out. I think it's like way freaking outdated.
Hey, it looks
Uh,
clean. I can see it from there. So, um, I thought it was like a past life where you who hit the original shot at a YouTube channel before
oh
Onomas.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, that was essentially what it was.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
because you were
yeah,
vlogging for some time, weren't you?
yeah. I still try to do it. I'm almost close to the 1,000 subs on my vlogging channel.
But you have a whole separate YouTube channel besides Onomas. I thought that
Yeah.
I thought Onomas took over that
No,
slot.
no, no. It's a different one.
Oh snap! Wait, so how
Yeah.
come you didn't do the whole cello? Because like I thought when I saw you do the cello vlog on Oinomas that I was
No,
like,
it was annoying to us.
that wasn't Oinomas.
No, no. I can share my screen.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute, hold on. Show me this real quick. I got your screen up. Oh wait, never mind.
Okay, let
Let you
me.
put your screen up.
Yeah. No, bro, I have two separate channels that, but obviously the podcast one took off more like a lot faster.
Yeah.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Oh, there we go.
Let me know if you see it.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah, but
wow.
this is my vlogging channel essentially this, and this is my podcast channel obviously.
Oh, so
But
I'm
I'm
definitely subscribed to both because I saw the thumbnails and I was like, oh, they're the same vibe, same like look. At least the cello one was like same vibe and look and feel as the Oinomas from the blue perspective.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, so I'm at 956 on this one. The Oinomas podcast, it's close to 1600, so we're getting there.
Can I ask, would you ever consider combining them or no?
Nah, not at all.
It's a
Like
line in the sand. This is my life. This is vlog. This is
yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah. This is behind because at one point, if the podcast takes off, then some of those subscribers are gonna end up coming to the vlogging channel because they'll want to see like the behind the scenes, the more family stuff.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I've had some videos of this is where we documented the building of the actual studio itself. Yeah, and yeah, I've been vlogging for years, but obviously it's so hard to come up like on just on YouTube. It's so hard. Honestly, it's obviously a journey.
Yeah.
You can't expect like success overnight, but I truly love it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think my biggest channel, I mean my most watched video, it has to be this one in particular. This one right here, 16,000.
Wait. Which one? Hover over it.
This one
Oh,
right there.
surprising. Okay.
The Aguilars with Sebastian's painting.
Oh snap.
16,000. Crazy.
Oh, that's right. You fucking paint, dude. You were telling me
Yeah,
about
check it
that.
out. Take the
You
painting
gotta
to
fucking you gotta live stream some painting someday, dog.
Yeah, check it out. This is when I gave this painting to this famous YouTube family. I think they have like close to 1 million.
Dog, you're nasty.
Check it out.
Dog, you're nice.
Yeah. It's dope, huh?
Hell yeah, with the fucking Woody,
Yeah.
the little gloss on the head of the Woody.
Yeah.
Dog, you're
So, yeah,
nasty.
yeah, it was pretty cool. I gave it to the family, and some of those videos it took off like I think million views on TikTok and all that stuff.
Dog, that is clean.
This is when that's the family reacting to it.
Dog, that is awesome. That is so dope, man.
Yeah,
Hell
they're
yeah.
called the Aguilars.
Dope shit. Yeah, I've never heard of them, but I could have swore I saw your boy. What's his name? Your social media guy behind there. Was he
Yeah.
there? Dope
Yeah, he
shit.
was there. I think that was the first time I ever met him.
Dope shit, man. That is so cool. Yeah, you definitely got to fucking live stream yourself paint. Do you paint still?
I haven't yet.
No, I'm surprised you haven't painted like a portrait of your baby.
Yeah, and I need to get back on it. But yeah, Cholo was super excited that we met them and stuff. And
She could tell
yeah,
she's
I've
cheesy.
painted
She's
some
happy.
pretty famous people, bro.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. My bad. We got distracted.
Yeah,
We got
yeah,
distracted. We got distracted. So I was here. I shared this file with you. So video idea, YouTube title. I'm just gonna put title. We know what that means. Title. IT description. Um, maybe there's like a. I'm gonna put the thumbnails here so that if ever you want to promote them on your ends, like you can just we can come to this thing and like I'll have the thumbnail there for you to grab type of deal. You get
Cool.
me? If ever you want to do that. And then maybe
Yeah.
there's
Oh, let's do it.
also like some sort of like spot for us to throw links. You get
Yeah.
me? Where it's like, hey, like links that we want to share during the episode, we can do that.
Mm, heck
Um,
yeah.
and I don't know. I mean, what this could do is like this link could also just be a link to like I don't know if there's a like the one cool thing with Notion is the fact that like when you double click on any of these line items, they can they turn into like whole pages where like you can like add descriptions to them, add things like that, and only have certain information show up in the table view. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I think I gotta have Priscilla mess with this. I'm not the best when it comes to sheets. I want to make sure that this row stays like on top, like it doesn't scroll, like this row stays locked.
Oh,
Uh,
okay, okay, okay.
um,
Usually on Excel, it'll say on top, it's
freeze,
like freeze top
yeah,
row.
freeze one row. There we go. Sweet. All right, we got it. And then I'll also just change the background of these to like a lighter gray so that we know what it is. So, in terms of like video ideas, we got some minutes if you want to just spitball some things. Like we spoke about how to plan a show. I'm imagining, there are some topics that we can cover like honestly something that I would want to cover with you is like the art of the thumbnail,
Okay.
like how to create thumbnails that
Thumbnails, and then something that like promoting a podcast, right?
mhm,
I'll just a brief so you can kind of get an idea of where I want to take it to. It's like I drop my episodes on Wednesdays, and I would want to touch base on why on Wednesdays, and then we can talk about your thought process on whether you think it's a good idea to drop it on Wednesday or any specific day in
yeah,
particular, the time, and we can go like in depth in all of that.
hell yeah, how to promote a podcast, how to
Oh,
create thumbnails that matter,
yeah.
how to brand a show.
Yep. Yeah, because I drop my podcast at Wednesdays at 6 p.m. I kind of want to change it to maybe to Wednesdays early in the mornings, but I want to go more in depth into why I drop them at 6 p.m.
Yeah. So when I say how to brand the show, I mean like intros, outros, like you get me. Like it touches on like the idea of like the thumbnails, but it's like this idea of like everything having an aesthetic. You get me? So not even intros, but like I guess what I mean by that is like episode assets, set design, even things like cameras and like how like doing LUTs and like how you can do things specifically. Oh man, I got this like all to the side. I can. Oh, I guess I gotta make myself a little smaller. I'll
Huh,
just make
it's
myself
funny.
smaller so that people can actually see what we're writing here. So how to create a thumbnail that matters, how to promote a podcast, how to brand a show, episode assets, set design, and more. Um, cameras and equipment. We can talk about like
Yeah.
cameras and
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Next episode, I'm gonna promote it, hoping like maybe two people from my end come, two people
yeah,
from your end, and because people are gonna have questions, and
yeah.
then we can like,
That'll drive us forward too.
yeah, big
Um,
time.
do you think it makes sense to like do? And we don't have to come up with all of them now, right now. But the idea is like this file was created. Like we can come here and just like drop ideas whenever we
Yeah.
have them.
Okay.
But yeah, we can both after we end this, we can figure out which one we want to do next week.
Cool.
Um, but in my head, I'm like thinking about like we could like spend episodes like focusing on like our favorite YouTuber, our favorite. We touched on that the last episode, but like it could be like our favorite podcast versus our favorite YouTuber in general versus like
Yeah.
our favorite vlogger.
Yeah, and then maybe we can talk about the contrast. And maybe there's similarities so why we like specific type of content.
Hmm.
And yeah, that'll be super dope. I like
Oh
that.
yeah, I'm just gonna do one right now that it's in my head. Like, what's the best conspiracy theory content out there?
Let's do it. Bro, honestly, like I know these are just like random episodes. I think this is the second or third one, but
Yeah,
just being able to do this, bro, it's always been a dream of mine. Just to be able to like have my freaking headphones, my microphone, being able to do it live with you, it's so freaking dope.
hell yeah. But yeah, man, I think this is good. Like to like start out with again. Like I'll do my part to like chat GPT it up, add a YouTube title, add descriptions, create a thumbnail for it. And right now, the link that'll just be here will be the link that I create for the episode, so that you can like promote it correctly.
Yeah,
But then maybe we'll just have like a notes section here, um,
cool.
for like us to add ideas and things like that. Um, but yeah, man, is there anything else you want to like touch on before we let go?
No, if anybody got to the end of this episode or whatnot, I just want to say eventually all of these you guys are really truly seeing everything behind the scenes, and eventually you guys will see the transition and the evolution on how everything plays out. But I'm a very strong believer on just being organic and being just raw and showing the behind the scenes, and I think that's exactly what we're doing right now, whether it's just one person watching this or two, fine, because at the end of the day everything will play out as planned, and it's always good to see the end result, but having all the beginning stages documented.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Nah, I couldn't agree more with that. And yeah, I thank you for being flexible, man, and just being able to join me. I know you got to make some clips right now. I will add links in the description so that you guys can follow Angel on his personal IG, but also so that you guys can go ahead and watch Oino Mas episodes. I don't have the call to action for it right here, but in the description, if you guys are interested in starting a show similar like this for yourself, for your brand or service, or product or service, go to bookalivestudio.com. Um, I will have my little overlay for that next time. But yeah, till then, I will see you guys next Monday. And thank you for tuning in. And thank you, Angel, for joining me on another episode. All right,
So
guys.
next time.
Peace.